Welcome to Tuesday's Eric and Lynda Live Show. I'm Eric.
And I'm Lynda. Welcome to our show again. We are excited about our guests. I'm always excited about our guests.
Yeah, we have some exciting guests to share with you all the time. So we're always excited about it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is our show at 6 o'clock Tuesdays, Eric and Lynda Live. We're in our pivot. We started these shows during COVID. And then we met up with a producer who put some spice into it. And so we've done a couple different things for 2021, including our numbers game. Yeah. So we have a numbers game. Yeah. We have commercials in our live show. So that was our pivot for 2021. Let me talk about the numbers game. Okay, so cool. Pick a number through 1 through 50, and the closest number without going over with the number that I pick is the winner of a Amazon gift card. So we've been giving out $10 for each winner, but we haven't had a winner in a couple weeks. So now our pot has grown to $30. So make sure you play our numbers up game. And when I announce it, put your number in, and hopefully you'll be the winner of a $30
gift card.
Amazon gift card.
Yeah, what's up, Lois?
But you have to be present to win. So you have to be present to win.
Yeah, so that means you have to stay to the end of the show. You can't just put your number in and expect to win, but you have to be there. See, look, he already got his number in there. Wow, you guys are fast. Keep them coming. Keep those numbers coming for the number up game. All right. Yep. Cool. Workvine 209, that is us. We are a co-working space, remote work space. Everybody in the world knows what remote work is now. And so that's what we do. We do remote work. Not many people in our area before COVID knew what co-working or shared workspace was, but now remote work has kind of taken control. And so we offer office space, desk space, conference room, event space. So we offer a variety. And then we do these shows to enrich, enhance, and enlighten you guys with our guests.
Yes, good job, Eric.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, thank you for explaining that.
All right.
Co-working space. We're in Tracy.
Located in Tracy. What else we got today?
We got so this person that's coming up, she's an encourager. And so I believe we can relate on a lot of things because I'm an encourager too. Yeah. We have something in common. And I am so excited to have her.
Yeah, we are excited to have her. You know, I was reading something today, and I read these different things also that kind of encourages myself. And then sometimes I share. But one of these things that I read today, it says, and I can't remember where it was from, so it's not my quote, but it says, I got comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so, you know, when I read that, I was like, a lot of times we get comfortable and we stay complacent and, hey, I'm working my job and I'm comfortable and I like what I do. And sometimes you have so much more potential that you don't even tap into because you're afraid of getting uncomfortable. So get comfortable being uncomfortable. How about that?
Are you uncomfortable?
Yeah, I'm really uncomfortable because Workvine is growing and expanding and there's so much stuff happening. And yeah, I'm a little nervous. Like we're looking at more space because we've occupied 2 spaces. And then we're looking at other cities and other locations and meeting with mayors and city councils and city managers. And you know, I was comfortable just working every day.
Yeah, but now, you know, you're an entrepreneur, Eric.
Yeah, I was always an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
even as a kid.
But you're working at it.
Yeah, we're getting better.
Yes.
Better and stronger.
Yep. So, do you want to go to commercial?
Well, come on, Jesus. There you go. Preach it. Yeah. So coming up, we got our special guests. You guys are going to be encouraged. I promise you, today you'll be encouraged. So those of you who are on, stay on, because you're going to get some encouraging words. It's going to change your life. I just spoke with this young lady just a moment ago, and she encouraged me in some of the things that she's doing. She's changing lives. She's motivating. And man, you know what? I'm going to go to commercial break, and I'm going to let you listen and watch one of her spoken words. So check it out. We'll be back in just a moment with our special guest.
What's up, my beautiful brothers and sisters? This is your girl, Tiffany James, coming to you with the word of encouragement on today. Let's talk about greatness. There is never a need for greatness to apologize for the purpose it is meant to fulfill. Did you know that greatness is always comfortable looking back and is never afraid to press forward? That it is not a shadow of what is to come, but a reflection of what already is. Greatness is never blind to the truth, but it is constantly challenged by it. Greatness is never to be boxed in by the walls of expectations. The depths of your disconnect to greatness often shows the level of your fear, causing you to deny yourself each time. But today, I am here to deposit a seed of courage on the inside of you so that you are able to acknowledge, embrace, and walk in your greatness. It is time. This is your girl, Tiffany James. For more encouraging words, go to my website, encouragingtouch.com, and check out my new book, Living in the Land of I Am. And as always, be ye encouraged.
Welcome back, man. Was that encouraging for some of you? It was encouraging for me. Deposit those seeds, right? Let's just get her on. Our special guest, writer, a poet, encourager, spoken word, author. Her name is Tiffany James. Welcome, Tiffany.
Hey,
how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're doing
All
great.
Right.
Man, that was really good, man. That was good. I mean, it's like you want to listen to it over and over because you grab pieces out of it. You know what I mean? And wow, that was powerful.
It was.
It's there so you can always listen to it again.
Yeah, I got it now. I got it.
You know, to me, I got out of that, like, sometimes people are afraid of being successful. And so they sabotage themselves too. And they just, are afraid to be successful at what they do. So they, that's another way to look at it too, is sometimes you stand in your own way to success.
Yeah.
Marianne Williamson says it best. She said, your deepest fear is not that you're inadequate, but that you're powerful beyond measures, that it is your light, not your darkness, that frightens you. And she says, who are we to, we began to question ourselves. Who am I to be powerful, gifted? But then she also said, who are we not to be? Our playing small does not serve the world. And there is nothing enlightened about us shrinking so the others around us won't feel insecure. But we were born to manifest the glory of God within us. And it's not for some of us, but it's for each and every last one of us. And as we begin to let our light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. And as we are liberated by our own fears, our very presence liberates others. So I was trying to remember.
That sounds like
yeah, that's power right there.
That is
It's been a while.
Yes.
Oh man, that was good.
47.
We're gonna be watching this more.
Memory just began to go.
Good. Wow, that's really good. Wow, look at that.
Thank you for being on our show today.
Man,
Thank
favorite
you so
moment.
much.
Look at that. Wow.
I believe that you're going to start speaking to somebody out there today, or if they rewatch it, I pray that you touch somebody's heart because you're so powerful.
Yeah,
So
look at that right
words
there.
are
Powerful. You're on
Yes.
fire.
See?
It's already touching some people. Man, we're just grateful that
I love to do.
you had time to be part of our show.
Yes.
Thank you. So let's kind of go back a little bit and tell us a little bit how you got started in doing all these different things.
Well, I've always been an encourager as long as I can remember. I'm talking about since I was young. I was always a leader. Even when I was in a gang, I was leading. Grew up on the south side of Chicago. So I was always leading, just was leading in the wrong direction. So it was in me.
Yeah.
But in 2006, I just started to really step out and just kind of use my gift in a different way once God got a hold of me. And I was working, for North American title at the time. Y'all taking me back. And 2006, one of my poems got entered into the International Poet Society. And I think it was 2006. But anyway, it got entered into the International Poet Society. To this day, I still don't know how. I made it to the finalists, went to Vegas. I didn't win. But afterwards, I did a piece called Life. And afterwards, just 3 women came up to me and they just began to talk to me about things that had happened to them leading up to the competition and how it spoke to them and how it changed their lives. And I came back to work and everybody was asking me, how did it go? And I was like, I didn't win, but it was amazing. And they asked me about the piece. And I have this memory that I can just memorize my pieces. And so I just started to do the piece for them. And they were like, can we get a copy? And we'll buy it. And I was like, no, I'll just give it to you. And I went to FedEx, bought some really cute paper and I printed it out and I went to Michael's or somewhere and bought, or maybe the dollar store and bought the little dollar frames and I put it in and I took it to work the next day. They loved it. And I didn't want any money. I just wanted to bless them and they were putting money on my desk for it. And so Encouraging Touch kind of like took on a life of its own. I started trying to put my pieces and connect with different, greeting card stores, but every door just closed. And finally, my play aunt said, why don't you just start your own? And, and because everybody always said I was an encourager, I mean, I'm known for being a personal encourager. I just gave that name, Encouraging Touch, right in my garage.
Wow.
Or California at the time. And Encouraging Touch was birthed. And I just started doing custom personalized pieces where I would sit with people and just really hear their story and began to write pieces for them, custom pieces, and rather than 90-year-old grandfathers, and I just wanted to give a gift to create a legacy that will last a lifetime because everything else will fade away, but words won't.
Right. Yeah. Amen.
So and then it kind of evolved after that. And I stopped that part of the business because I felt like I needed to learn the business. I didn't know that. I didn't have the foundation to be, a business owner. So I kind of stopped for a while, but God still had his plan and I still was stepping. It's not what you do. It's really who you are. And so our doing flows from our being. And so no matter what, I was still encouraging people and doors just kept opening. And the more people heard, the more doors opened up. And I just stepped in bold and stepped in just knowing that this was my purpose. And it's been quite a beautiful journey.
Wow. Being bold.
Are you still, so did you go back to writing personal pieces for people? Is that still in your business?
Yeah, I still write personal pieces, not necessarily. Well, sometimes people do ask me to write for them, so I do. I'm actually writing for a company right now in Nigeria and doing short stories right now. So that's amazing. But I still do, but most of the pieces I write, I perform them. So they're my pieces, my storytelling pieces. And so I get to go to different places and God has opened doors. I mean, I've done Chevron. That was a really amazing. This is what happens when you learn how to just be yourself, because for so long people told me, like, if you ever want to get the doors open and you want to be known, or if you want to get ahead, you're going to have to change and you're going to have to do floetry and you're going to have to go to these competitions. And so I struggled with that for a long time. And then I came back to being Tiffany, and my friends gave me her name is Kelsey, and I did a piece for her. And she said, you know something, what was that? She was like, that is not spoken word. She was like, what is that? She said, you are God's storyteller. And it kind of just stuck. And I realized like that's my vein. I just love telling stories that people can relate to and they can step into that story and be encouraged because there are so many stories out there that haven't been told. And we usually tell the best version of ourselves. And I usually tell the stories that most people won't tell. And because sometimes the ugliest parts of our story are actually the most powerful parts. Those are the parts that people can relate to, and we usually hide that part and give the best polished version of ourselves, and especially nowadays. So yeah,
that's good.
That is good. It's kind of like the swan. Like the swan wasn't pretty all the time, but became pretty. But they had to go. She did it like go through an ugly stage or something, and then it became pretty. So, something like that. Like that's how I feel. Like the ugliness that we went through. When we get past it and we share it, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Is that you overcame and you struggled through it, but you made it through it, and so that's the beauty of it. That's the swan in it.
And that's the story. I feel that's the story where people have to hear it, because they only see the sparkly, shiny side, but they don't realize all of the dirt and the struggle and the push and the pull, and the sleepless nights, or that people go through to get to where God wants them to be. And, I mean, I'm inspired just hearing those two pieces, right? Got my brain just kind of going like, man, what can I do? Like, I love it that, you have this passion to encourage people. And so that's really good. Wow.
Yes.
Words are very powerful, and I'm glad that you used your words to encourage. There's been times like in my life where I said some things and they're so like the tongue is a two-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
So you really got to watch what you say, and because it speaks into people's soul. But when you speak encouragement, it speaks into their soul. It gets deep within, and sometimes you just have to keep hearing it over and over again to really, saturate in what you're saying. So
and when you look at the root word of encouragement, you find the word courage. So encouragers have this special gift of literally just awakening the courage on the inside of someone to get past the very barriers that they are going through or the things that they feel like they can't accomplish. And so that's what I love about encouragers, because it is truly a gift to deposit courage on the inside of you.
Wow. Wow. We're gonna talk some more. I want to talk a little bit about your book, and we're gonna dive in some more. So stay tuned for more, and don't forget about the Numbers Up game coming up soon. Yes, maybe in 10 minutes or so. Yes. All right. And so we'll come back right after this commercial break.
All the way up, turn it all the way up, all the way up, turn it all the way up, all the way up, turn it all the way up, all the way up, turn it all the way up. And tell him the brother calm down, and fit a square with a round hole, cause every time that I come around, I turn it as loud as it go. Sipping the rock, pink collide, or give me the lime. Ready or not, give me a sign if you want me to stop. Giving it to you a cappella, the music will drop. One at a time, singing a rhyme on the drop of a dime. It's got time to shine, baby. I'ma break it down until it's liquid. Turn up, stir it up, call it biscuit. Hold up, I'm turned to the max. So loud, I got a deaf mute in the back. I'm fly, gonna do what it does. The first time that you heard your names on the track. All the way up.
everyone. We're here with Tiffany James, an encourager, the founder of Encouraging Touch Enterprises. And we are so excited to have you on our show because you have thus far encouraged me in less than
20 minutes.
20 minutes that you've been on here. You've touched my heart. So we wanted to talk a little bit more about your book.
Yes.
Yeah. So what inspired that?
Oh, goodness. Where do we begin? Oh, so yeah. So that is, again, I was working for Alliance Title, and I thought that I had, like, as the people say, I was living my best life.
Yeah.
We had 2 homes before I was 35, was purchasing our the cars. We had all the materialistic things, from the outside looking in, we had it all together. I was making over $100,000 a year. I became branch manager of the company. And, I don't know if you guys remember, but 2008, man, the market crashed. And like, it was like, wow. And, I think we struggled, trying to save our home, and ended up having to sell one home in a short sale. And the other home came home one day from a speaking engagement, and 2 men were on my porch and was like, we bought your house in an auction, and you have 30 days to get out. And it just hit me because we have been trying to really do everything, went through everything, our savings. I went through my 401k. We thought that they had stopped, the foreclosure, only to lose everything. And, we say this all the time, money don't make me. These materialistic things don't make me. And I truly believe that, right? Because I never was one that boasted of anything. I mean, it was just the blessings over my life, but I didn't really boast. And I was the one that said that cliche too, money don't make me. And I don't care about materialistic things. It's easy to say when you have money. It's easy to say when everything is going well, but we end up losing everything. And for the first time, I felt naked. I felt exposed. I was embarrassed. I didn't understand it. I felt like, God, where are you? I had been faithful. My husband was in school at the time, trying to become a paramedic firefighter. And at the time he was still working, but my salary, I'm saying, like, covered a lot, when you're making over 100,000 a year, at the time I was a breadwinner while he was, pursuing his dreams. And he is a firefighter, side note. I'm so proud of him.
Good.
And so one day, I mean, it got really bad for us. I'm talking about real bad. So like one day a friend came over and was like, I asked her, bring me a cup of coffee. And when she got there, she was like, you got a coffee maker here. Why we didn't just make coffee? But I didn't want to tell her, I didn't have any coffee and couldn't afford any coffee or creamer, like it was really that serious. And I just remember just sitting on the couch one day, and my friend sent me a video, and it was of Steve Harvey. And it was an unaired clip that went viral. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was an unaired clip for Family Feud, and he was talking about jumping. And I remember just being at that place, the way he described it, and he was, talking about being in a plane and have everything you need, and the plane doors open and you're ready to jump, and you have your backpack on or whatever, your parachute and all those things, and you've sewn and you waited for this day. You took all the lessons you're supposed to take, and you see nothing but opportunity out, and you're ready to jump, and you're inspired and you're encouraged, and then you look out and all of a sudden fear grips you. And all of a sudden the inner critic start. And all of a sudden you hear all the thoughts that says, like, if you fall, what's going to happen? And that was me. And he talked about jumping. And if you haven't seen the clip, go find this on YouTube. Yeah. And that message gripped me in such a way that all I had was a pen and a promise at that time. That's all I had. Wow. Was a pen and a promise. And because God had promised me so many different things in my life that had not come to pass. And I just got a pen, and it took me 2.5, almost 3 years to write the book. I took my time. I would go to coffee shops just like as if I was working for someone else. I had my schedule, and I would go and I would sit. Even if I was not inspired to write anything, I would still go and sit there, and I would get little nuggets, and I would just write those nuggets down. And I just took my time with God, and I just wrote. I just wrote. I just poured my heart out. I just listened to God, and I just went on this journey of my life and just sharing like all the things that I had gone through, because our life journey really do reveal our purpose, right? Where every day we're adding a page to our story. And I just felt like I wanted to take people on the journey of living in the land of I am, because I realized that that had been my struggle my whole life, was my identity. My whole life. That was the very thing that held me in that plane, not jumping, afraid that I wouldn't be accepted, always wondering if I'm enough, always trying to edit myself, trying to conform, trying to fit into an image that society says we have to fit into. And we don't even know who deemed it the standard. We're all trying to live up to the standard. And I just wanted to take people through the journey that I went through, because experience is not always the best teacher. Somebody else's experience can be a good mirror for you.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to put the wisdom in there of the things that I experienced, so that people won't have to go through the things I went through. I was in my 40s by the time I found my identity. I was in my 40s by the time I fell in love with my voice, found my voice, and fell in love with my voice. And I'm not just talking about voice articulation, but I'm talking about who I was created to be. When I show up in the world, I realize something, that I bring something unique in the world. And so I just wanted to tell people that, because I think a lot of times that's the universal question. Who am I? Like, who am I? And so the land is you. So living in the land of I am is living in the land, being you. You are the land.
Yeah.
And so learning to do that. And so I wrote the book and I released it in 2019, not too long before, the pandemic, COVID.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and so it's beautiful. It's a powerful book. It is a combination of storytelling. It has spoken word. It has inspirational pieces in there. I'm very transparent, very authentic. Like again, I want to share it all. I want to share it all. I mean, I want to give it all to you because I want you to be different by the end. I want you to discover. It's not about trying to do something. It's just about discovering what's already within you. And that's greatness, right? That's the epitome of greatness. We're always trying to be better than. It's not about being better than, it's about being different from, because we all have different gifts and all have different talents, and we're all great. We all have seeds of potential on the inside of us. None of us lack it. None. Not one single person lacks potential, because God doesn't create it wrong.
That's like, you're driving this thing right on home.
I mean, you're like telling my story. Yeah. Like everything you said, I'm like, that's my story. Like, you don't realize how many people have things in common until you speak it and say it. Wow. And, Eric and I, we went through the same struggle too. And, and me, I'm more open, I'm more transparent. And he'd be like, Lynda, you're saying too much. Like, stop. Like, no, you share too much. And, I don't know my business and blah, blah. But I'm like, this is what we're going through. I have nothing to hide. We went through the struggle too. Everybody that had a home, 99% had that 2008 slap in the face with the .com pop and the real estate falling, it had the hole or whatever we called it, that cliche that we, but I mean, a lot of people went through it, and it was like, the story that you were saying, it was just so like brought me back, and it like reminded me like, and all those feelings and emotions that you go through when you're experiencing it. It's that raw feeling. And when you could share it openly without regret and say that, hey, I made it through that. That becomes that swan that like, I made it through this. You can make it through this. And sometimes I believe that you go through a struggle so that you could share your struggle. So it's not in vain. It's purposeful. It's to help somebody else, or even prevent somebody, like you said, to even go through, the struggle that you went through. Because,
realizing those things don't define us either, right? I was still Tiffany. I was still walking in my greatness, and I liken it to going, if you trip and fall and hit your head and you go to the hospital as a precaution and they do a CAT scan for you only to find an existing tumor and that very, and I feel like that's what happened to me because, you know, losing everything and having all those things stripped away from me, I realized something that I had allowed all those things to become my identity and to be a part of who I was, you know? And so I think that had I not had that happen, I don't know what would have, you know, I don't know what would have came out of that because I saw a lot of things. I saw me and my husband were going through some things, but we were always busy. We had the money, we can go travel. So we didn't have to deal with the issues that were right there in front of us. You know, my daughter was going through identity crisis. I still had brokenness and unhealed things from my childhood. So had I not had that fall, so to speak, you know, using that analogy, I probably would have never realized that there was a tumor that was existing in my life that could have cost me my life. And so, you know, all things work together for the good. All things.
Yes.
It was the best year of my life because I discovered so much about myself. And we're afraid to look at the chaos. We're afraid to look at the storms. Like we stay away, wait till the sun come out, just like we're doing with COVID, wait for it to pass. But sometimes you got to look at it in its face, you know, and you got to look all the way in there and see all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so my marriage got healed out of that time. You know, I got healed. My relationship with my mother got healed during that time. I mean, so much fruit came from that. And that's true wealth right there. It wasn't the money.
Yeah, it is.
Wealth,
that was like the storm and then the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Hey, we got to go to commercial break real quick. It's all, hey, this is real good stuff, though. I mean, yeah, it is. It's real good. But before we go to commercial break, make sure that you put your numbers in for the numbers up game. Pick a number between 1 and 50. The closest number without going over will be the winner. It says $10, but this week it is at $30 because for the last 3 weeks, no one's won. So put your numbers in for the numbers up game. Yeah. And we'll be right back after this commercial with Tiffany James. Welcome back to Eric and Lynda Live with Tiffany James, the encourager. She's encouraging.
You know, so I was like thinking too, like when I go through my storm or really the hard times in life, I always ask God, okay, what are you trying to teach me in this moment? What do you want me to learn in my struggle? You know, and when God stripped us of everything too, when we went through the 2008, 2009 real estate thing, you know, we lost a lot of homes too, a lot of our investment homes. And I didn't realize till later, like what he was trying to teach me. And I felt like he was trying to teach me to depend on him more. You need to I need to let all this go. Yeah. And so that you can focus on me and there's no distraction. Yeah. But you know, it was a hard lesson. It's not easy.
But it was good though. It was.
Yeah. It's always beauty. Always beauty in the ashes. Yeah.
I mean, we definitely learned some, man, that's a whole nother story. We don't want to go down that road. But I mean, you said something, you said discover who you are, right? Yeah. Because a lot of people I think they walk around or live and not knowing who they are or not knowing their potential.
Yes.
What tools do you give someone to bring out knowing who they are?
Mm-hmm.
I think first taking the time, we would try to become an expert at everything, right? How about becoming an expert at self? Pay attention to I believe the potential on the inside of us are always calling us.
Yes.
They're nudging us, and pay attention to your inner voice. And I think take the time to get to know yourself, what you love, what you don't love. Know things about yourself. They say a great fighter is not the fighter that just knows his strength, but knows his weakness as well. Find out the things that you're not strong at. And get around some powerful people, not people that make you comfortable, not people that are familiar with you. Get around some people that are willing to tell you the truth. And those are accountability partners. They don't just need to encourage you, but they need to challenge you as well. And I think a lot of times we don't want to get around people because we don't want to feel, you said it earlier, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But sometimes you won't move until you're uncomfortable. And I always say this all the time. You watching a good movie and you snuggled up and you have to go to the bathroom and it's a good part and you don't want to move, you won't move. But sooner or later, I promise you, sooner or later, you're doing like this and you can't hold it. It's so uncomfortable that you have to move. And unfortunately, a lot of times we don't pay attention to that. We don't pay attention to those nudging on the inside of us where we feel uncomfortable. And so when we feel uncomfortable, we usually default. We try to go somewhere and go back to what makes us comfortable, go back to what's familiar. But maybe this telling you it's time to switch. So I tell people to take that time to get to know yourself. I think we're living in a world now that everybody is so many coaching, programs out there, and also with social media right now. So you can find like how to do this, how to do that. And so people are spending all this money trying to figure out, I need this, I need this, I need this, and I need this. And then they come around and they're in this cycle where they get all of this knowledge and they're still struggling.
Wow.
They're still not satisfied. And it's like, it's nothing wrong with, don't get me wrong. I believe you're supposed to hone in on your gifts. I believe in that. But when you know who you are, then you know what you need. You know what I'm saying? So when you know what you're not putting money and investing money in everything, you start to invest money into yourself. And I tell people, you are your greatest investment.
Yeah.
Yourself that way. Invest in yourself. And so I just think that a lot of times people don't take the time to do that. We're just trying to take the quick fix, and I'll take all these classes and I'll show up. But no, just take the time to get to know who you are and invest in yourself. Know you, become an expert at you. I promise you, you won't fail you, because nobody can do what you do the way you do it. Nobody. And so I tell people, when you show up in the room, you bring something that has never been seen before. Do we realize that? Because nobody is like us, but we're trying to be like everybody else and trying to conform to everyone else. So I think that will be the first tool. And that's what I help people do when I meet with them. I help them find their voice, find their niche in life. Who are you? Find your thumbprint. What makes you, and fall in love with your voice. You show up. What do you bring? Pay attention. What nudges you? What excites you? What problem do you want to solve? It's been there your whole life. I promise you, it's been there your whole life. You just got to listen to it. You just got to discover it. So that's some of the tools I give when I work with people.
That's awesome.
Speak it. That's good. Y'all learning stuff out there. I hope y'all learning something today, because this is good. This is good encouragement.
It is. I have a question here. What is the greatest challenge you face stepping into who you are called to do? What was your greatest challenge?
I think my greatest challenge was, I kind of touched on it. I think just trying to find that balance of, trying to hone in on my gift, but not lose myself.
Okay.
I think, again, so many people, when you don't know who you are, other people are quick to come and define you. Right. Mm-hmm. So I tell people that all the time. If you don't know who you are, people will raise their hand and they will volunteer.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times I felt like Sybil, like I felt like I had all these different personalities because, I didn't know who I was, and I always, people would say, you need to do this, or you need to show up this way, or you need to dress this way, you need to sound this way, if you ever gonna be this, and I'm like, I realized something. I was no longer walking in my purpose, but I was walking in performance, and that's different. And so a lot of us show up performing and we're no longer walking and reigning in our purpose. And so that's what I was doing. I had the look, what I'm saying? I had the sound, I was speaking the right language because I've taken some courses, but I had stepped away from my purpose. And then we become an image that we no longer even recognize. And so it's polished on the inside, on the outside, but on the inside, there's a war going on because that doesn't match us. So I think my greatest challenge was, Tiffany, again, learn who you are first. That's why I stopped the business. Learn who you are and what you want, what your vision is, what your passion is, what your standards are, not what the world says, but what are your standards? Because I tell people it's good, to fall with 10 people. It's not good to fall in front of 10,000 people. Sometimes it's great, and so I needed to learn who I was, like at that level. I had a few customers, and so some of the mistakes I made, they were minor and I can learn from them. But if God's gonna trust me with the lives, for me, it was lives, right? Because this is what I do. So if God was gonna trust me with people's lives, then I needed to make sure I was, I was content and knew my purpose and knew who I was. And that is key for me. And I tell people, how do you treat the 10 people that God has given you?
Wow.
Who do you treat? Because you should treat them the same way you treat 10,000.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And I tell people, how do you treat your client when they only have $100 in the bank? Do you treat them the same way you would treat Oprah?
Yeah. That's good.
Integrity matters, So I think that was my greatest challenge, because a lot of things I was learning, it didn't fit my standards. And I didn't want to do those things just to get some numbers and have a platform.
That's good. Sign me up.
Yes.
Sign me up. There it is right there, living in the land of I am. Can you tell us where we can get that book?
Yes.
You can get it on my website, of course, at www.encouragingtouch.com. But you can also go to Amazon. People have Prime, so you can get it right away. But when you go to my website, you get an autographed copy and you get a personalized encouraging word. And I do pray about it and I do sit with it and I send out an encouraging word when you order it from my website.
Oh man, yeah. I'm gonna drop that. That's www.encouragingtouch.com.
.encouragingtouch.com. Yes.
I'm gonna put that in. And
I'm telling you, it will change your life. Did I say?
All right, man. I'm gonna put that in the chat for you guys. You'll be able to click on that link and get that book and read up on some of the stuff that she's doing.
Yes.
And you may even want to have her as your coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're giving away some free stuff too, huh?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, 30-minute free discovery call. All you have to do is click on that link, Calendly. I always say it wrong. I want to say calendar, but it's not calendar. But click on that link and you'll get a 30-minute discovery call with me to see if we're matched. Because again, it's all about making sure that you discover your voice. It's not about me just trying to get a client, but it's about it. Are we a match? What do you need? And if I have what you need, I'm willing to give it to you. And so, yeah. Yeah,
and that link is in the chat. I just dropped it in there. So, man, I am going to book. We're on a book.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, you can't lose, right? Because no matter what, in that 30 minutes, I promise you, you'll be I promise you'll discover your voice, even in that 30 minutes. So
that's
good.
Yeah, that's good. Any last remarks before we go that you want to share with the viewers?
Just tell you, there is so much in you. There are so many seeds of potential on the inside of you. Embrace who you are. You can never reach your destiny without knowing your identity. It's the key to everything. And you are absolutely enough. And so that's what I would leave people with. You are enough. You don't have to try to make it up. You don't have to conform. You don't have to change. Like, you are perfect just the way you are. And the very thing that makes you unique and set apart is the very thing that God is going to use. So step out and rock your greatness.
Wow. Everybody got awesome.
Yes.
Wow, man. Thank you, Tiffany, for being a part. Hey, I'm gonna click that link.
Yes.
Hey, before you get all booked up, you be like, hey, I can't take no more.
Well, I'm always here. Thank you guys for having me and giving me opportunity. I don't take it lightly when someone opens up a space for me to encourage anybody, because for you, some people, you know, whoever was on tonight got encouraged because of you. So thank you for trusting me.
Oh, thank you for being part of our show.
Thank you so much. And at least you have one, me. I was encouraged.
No, I was too, for sure. I was taking notes, but I was like, why am I taking notes? I'll just go back and watch it again.
Yeah, next time I'll come on and do a spoken word for you guys.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll do that. Yeah, we're gonna do some. Yeah,
we're gonna call you back.
Yeah,
we are.
Yeah. Everybody's pretty pumped up out there.
Hi, Colleen. I saw Colleen on there.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of feedback. That was good. That was good stuff. Good
that's
stuff.
my daughter right there.
All right, there we go. All right.
That's so cute.
Yeah. See, look. Oh man, the encouragement is just happening. We don't even need a commercial. We just pop up the chats. Oh man. We got some numbers rolling in. What's up, Sherrod? All right. Thanks again,
We
Tiffany.
are definitely gonna call you back, and maybe we can do that on our live shows.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be so good.
Yeah.
Okay, I will.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm trying to get to the commercial, but I want you to be checking out all this positive stuff.
Oh, thank you.
It's really good. It's really good. I know we got to get on to for our producers start dinging us, but
and she don't play, because I know you're producing.
I know she don't. She
Don't
don't. Look at that right there. What's that? Blessings. All right, beautiful guest speaker. Yes, it was.
Thank you,
Angela. It was really good. And you can stay on behind stage. I'll still continue to pop up some of the feedback, but we're going to be going over to our Numbers Up game right after this commercial break. As soon as I can get us to commercial.
Welcome back, everyone, and we're ready for our Numbers Up game. And for my little bingo.
Ooh, that was awesome, man! I'm so encouraged.
I am so encouraged.
She blew me away.
So encouraged.
Yeah, that was really good stuff. Really good stuff. Numbers Up gang. If you don't have your number in, you better have it in by now. And if you're not online, then you might lose out. All right, today's number is.
Can you read that? No, you can't.
Yeah. I got my glasses.
42. No,
42, number 42. I have a lot. You guys got to just bear with me while I'm running through all these numbers. We're looking at 42, the closest to 42 without going over. Let's see. There's 20. She's close right now. 17. 20 is winning right now.
23.
26 is winning. 23, 26 is still winning, not enough. And I'm going. Uh-oh. What's the number?
It is 42.
42. Well, there is number 37. That's close right now. And it looks like, I just got to make sure. I don't want people calling me saying, man, I had 42. But it looks like number 37 is the winner.
Yes.
$30. Are you still on number 37? You better put something in the chat. Let me know you're still there, because we're going to go to the next one. Where are you, Miss Sharon Hawkins? Uh-oh. So we give her a countdown?
Great message. So let's talk a little bit. She'll come on. I know my sister-in-law.
That's
my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
She's won a couple times, and so because she's a faithful watcher,
she be winning.
Odds go
She
up.
here.
Yes.
She's the winner. Man, it's all good. All good. All right, man. We got a winner. $30.
Yes.
I thought it was gonna get a little bit higher.
Yeah, you thought maybe we'd get to 100, but who knows?
It's all good. Man, I just want to thank Tiffany James again. I mean, wonderful job. Really inspirational. There's so many positive comments. I think that, some of the things she said even made me look and reflect at who I am and what my purpose is. And, sometimes, we think this is our purpose or our passion, and then you really start to look inside and start thinking, I really love this. I've been doing this for so long that I think this is what I enjoy doing. But sometimes, you have to look deep inside, and I think she opened my eyes to enlighten me to start thinking a little bit more too.
I think it was purposeful for her to be even on our show today because she wasn't feeling well, and so we were gonna push her to a different time, and then she came on. So I know it was a purpose for her to be on our show this evening, because somebody out there, including me and Eric, got encouraged. And so we are gonna bring her back because I want to hear more of her. It's like I forgot we were in an interview. It was a live show, and I forgot because I was so into what she was saying, and that it spoke to my heart. So I definitely want to bring her back. I'm definitely going on her Calendly and getting on. And so it is 30 minutes by myself. I'm not sharing that. So you got to.
So we got an hour.
You get your own 30 minutes. I want my own personal 30 minutes. We're not sharing.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. That was a really great show. I was really encouraged, and we didn't even, there was so much more that I wanted to talk to her about. I was on her website, and one of the things she said is stop talking and start living, and that really stuck with me. Like, man, start living. Like, what does that look like? And so, it's really good. It's good stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So we want to thank you guys again for being our faithful listeners and joining us this evening. And we come every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Live. This is not rehearsed, it's not recorded. We just come out and give it our raw selves on Tuesday at 6 p.m. And we bring in great speakers like Tiffany James this evening. And if there's somebody out there that you feel that should be on our show, please reach out to us, and we can get them on the calendar, or at least interview them to see if it's a fit.
Yeah, I think that's good. And if you like those commercials, check this out.
Yes.
Ooh, we got an advertisement plan for you, right? Shell T is the big boss of marketing for us, and so she does a great job with her commercials. Take a look if you want more information about that. You can get a commercial. There's a 3-month contract. She can do the videos. She can, do it all. And then we'll also be sharing some of your information on our social media platform as well. So, I just want to thank you guys for being on our show. Stay tuned for next week. We'll be back on Tuesday at
6
o'clock. p.m. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great evening.